Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be taking a look at a game called WWF Road to WrestleMania for the Game Boy Advance. Before I get started, if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, then please consider subscribing. Alright, so take a look at box art here. It's really basic box art. They could have done better than that. I'm not really a fan of the box art. Got screenshots on the back and not a whole lot to read, but there's a few screenshots there. I'll take a look at what's inside the box. So we have a precautions booklet. Got the Nintendo Power pamphlet here, which we've seen before on this channel. And we've also got this poster here. Pretty cool poster. It's double-sided. WWF Betrayal on the back. Then we of course have the manual, so we'll flip through that. If you need to pause to read anything, then please feel free to do so. So this game was developed by Natsume and published by THQ. Controls are pretty complicated. As you see, there's a lot of them. So it's a lot to learn, really. Just from playing it a little bit, it's a bit of a learning curve, I would say. But that's not a bad thing. You know, this game's definitely packed full of features for being a handheld wrestling game. This game was actually released in Europe before the US. It was released in Europe on November 16th, 2001, and it was released 3 days later in the US. This is the first WWF game on the Game Boy Advance, and 2 more followed. But those were both WWE games because they changed the name by the time that those came out. So this is the only WWF game on the Game Boy Advance, technically. This game has a very big roster for a handheld wrestling game as well. It's a 24-man roster, which is great. Advertisement for the Real Sounds Arena right there. It's pretty cool. And there's an advertisement for WWF Betrayal on the back for the Game Boy Color. And we have the cartridge here.
Yo, you dealing with the X Factor. Fight! Give up? One, two. One, two. One, two, three, pinball!
Okay, so that was my gameplay for WWF Road to WrestleMania. So there's definitely a lot to say about this game. As I said before, it's just packed full of features. There's so much to it for an old handheld wrestling game. Just, for example, like the entrances, it's crazy to have entrances like that on an old handheld wrestling game. That's definitely one of my favorite features of this game. The crowd looks really great as well for this type of game. The graphics and sprite work are just great. It's much better than the two WWE games that followed this on the Game Boy Advance. So the finishers look great as well. As I said before, also there is a bit of a learning curve, but you know, you just gotta really look through the manual and learn everything. There's also timing, you gotta time it right. So it's a really complicated game that's packed full of features. So it is a shame that there's no save feature. It has passwords, which is just ridiculous for a Game Boy Advance game. So, you know, it's not all positive, but I would definitely recommend this game. And yeah, so I think that's gonna do it for today's video. So if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, then please consider subscribing, and also please like the video and leave me a comment below. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.